Howdy folks, this is Sumner Healey at thelandpioneer.com, home of the very best deals on raw vacant land, and today we've got a beautiful 2.62 acre property out in Burnsville, North Carolina, just outside of Asheville. This property is in Yancey County and it's being offered with owner financing. You're looking at $1,500 down, $400 a month for 100 months. Zero interest on this puppy. If you know much about North Carolina and its kind of real estate boom in the last few years, you know the west side of the state is very, very hot, but really North Carolina as a market in general has just been really, really strong, whether that's for land, whether that's for commercial assets, whether it's for single family homes. It's just a strong market, and a lot of that's true for the southeast. This property was just listed. It's got beautiful views of Mount Mitchell. I mean, the views are really breathtaking, and what you're going to see above me on the screen are pictures of the property. These were drone photos taken during the winter. Absolutely beautiful. Now, this property is part of an HOA. It's known as Mountain Heritage Estates. The living standards out here really aren't anything crazy. There is an annual due on the property, but oddly enough, it hasn't been enforced in many, many years. So there's not really much of a holding cost on top of it, but you are looking at some building requirements. You're looking at 1,400 square feet as a building square footage minimum. No mobile homes, unfortunately, no manufactured homes. They're really looking for stick-built homes on these properties. If you look at the homes that are adjacent to this lot, you're looking at 1,500 to 2,000 square foot gorgeous wood cabins. And so it is a more upscale area. On top of that, they don't want anyone to be living in tents or living in RVs. Like, this is really a place to go build your dream home or build an Airbnb. And I think the business case of building an Airbnb out here is really strong. There's a ton of sites in the area, and so you get a lot of traffic during the summer. Asheville is 36 miles away. Burnsville, which is the main town, that's 5.2 miles away. That's where you get all your general necessities for the property. In terms of actually developing, this property is zoned residential, so you're looking at building a residential home site, but there are no rules against leasing the property. So although it's zoned residential, you're good to go with an Airbnb or just building a rental property. On top of that, you can have one outbuilding on the same property. So if you wanted like a barn, or you wanted a warehouse or a storage area, or maybe even like an ADU, potentially you could do something along those lines. Now, the land can be subdivided with the approval of the HOA. So if you wanted to slice it down the middle, you could build, technically 2 main living areas and then 2 outbuildings. So you've got a lot of flexibility here. The property is assessed at $70,000, and so it's got a really high assessment. Well, sorry, it's been appraised at $70,000. Its assessment is closer to $49,000. Annual taxes on this property are relatively low. You're looking at $316 per year. So holding costs aren't bad. Just since we've owned it, we've seen land prices really start to skyrocket in the area. It's kind of gone gangbusters in the last few months, especially after COVID. A lot of folks that were kind of working in the cities, they can work remote now. They're looking to get away, live off grid. So I would look to see land prices continue to appreciate in the area. Now, the kind of the layout and the topography of this land, 2 different ridges, and you've got kind of like a valley in between. There is a seasonal creek that runs on the property. Really, I mean, it's a beautiful lot, wooded all throughout the area. You're going to need to cut in a driveway. I would recommend keeping a lot of that wood. That's just absolutely stunning. But you've got kind of 2 different perch points where you could build, and then you've got that valley in between. It's one of the biggest lots in the entire subdivision. So kind of like the King Estate, and it's elevated and it's looking out at Mount Mitchell. It's really, really beautiful. As always, if you guys have any questions, you can reach out to us down below at thelandpioneer.com. If you want to look at this property, the listing is down below. We've also linked the covenants down below for the HOA. If you love this lot and want to move forward with it, on thelandpioneer.com, you can go click reserve now, place a down payment. We'll get all the financing documents drafted up, sent over, and get the ball rolling from there. And be sure to subscribe. This is where we upload all of the latest deals. So if you love discounted land, if you're into the tiny homes, the homesteading, this is where you're going to want to be. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.